Hi everyone, this is Brian Neal with Tradetobefree.com and InvestBefree.com, and recently I put out a video on YouTube about the double bottom pattern, and I showed a chart, actually a weekly chart of the S&P 500, and showed how that index was in a double bottom pattern and breaking out a few weeks ago, and it actually first broke out I think in early July, and we were following that throughout the year and noted the breakout that helped us to go bullish right after Brexit. But also I wanted to show you a double bottom pattern on an intraday chart, because I know there's a lot of day traders out there, and I wanted to let you know that this is also a very good pattern on an intraday chart. If you have a stock that has a lot of movement and you do want to find those kind of stocks, this can be a really good pattern to spot either a trend reversal or also a a day where the stock pulls back early and makes two lows and confirms that double bottom pattern. That might be a really good entry point if you know the stock is probably going higher in the days or weeks ahead. In this example, I want to show you is Twilio, and this is one of the recent IPOs that has done real well. I'm going to show you Acacia and also Twilio. But this happened today, and I just wanted to show you this and how this pattern works. Okay, so again, with the double bottom pattern, you have two successive lows, and ideally you want the second low to go a little bit below the first low. In this case, it didn't happen. It was pretty close to the first low, and then you want that W shape to be formed on the chart, and you can see that real distinctly here with Twilio. This is a 5-minute chart, by the way. When I day trade, in the early morning to late morning, and sometimes in the afternoons, but usually in the mornings I'll day trade, and I'll look for these patterns on a 5-minute chart. Okay, so if you bring that up on Twilio, you can see this pattern, and you can see this very distinct W pattern. Now, there's a downtrend leading into Twilio, so this could be a trend reversal for Twilio, and we could see Twilio turn around and go a lot higher in the days ahead. I'm not saying that. I don't know if that's going to happen. My feeling is Twilio is probably going to pull back more, given that they don't have the earnings of Acacia. They're still losing money, and they have the really strong growth, but they're also an IPO, and we may see some more weakness in the market next week, and I think this stock may come back some more. But anyway, for a day trade, what I'm looking for is a 1 to 3 to 4% move maybe out of this pattern. Normally, most stocks, if you trade them this late in the morning or afternoon, they won't make much of a move. So you got to make sure you have the right stock that can make a strong move later in the morning and afternoon. But anyway, you can see how the stock forms this W pattern, and as it clears the center point over here, it does so in very strong volume, and that's a really good entry point on that double bottom pattern. Now you've got resistance up here at 52.80, and then here at 53.09. You can see that over here, and that would be probably a good target for that. And you can see the price actually went between those 2 points and stopped. Now then it pulled back to the entry point, near the entry point, and then now it's starting to rally again. But again, late in the morning, afternoon, especially on a Friday, it's probably not the time to jump into this. Although it could make a move from here, given that it is a volatile, strong IPO, recent IPO. So yeah, so that made a 2% move very quickly out of that pattern, and a lot of people will try to buy these patterns. They'll tell you to go ahead and just wait for the stock to pull back again and then buy it down around here, and that can work sometimes, but you'll often see the stock continue its downtrend from there and actually break these lows here, especially in the late morning and afternoon. So especially when you have a downtrend like this going into it with Twilio. So you want to be real careful that the ideal entry point is this move above the center point, and that should act as support. You might see it go down into it 5, 10 cents, 20 cents or so, but you want to find a stock that has really good support at that entry point. Okay, so if you're looking at a 1-minute chart and it comes back and tests that, you want to see a strong rebound starting off that entry point as it comes back. So yeah, so these 5-minute charts are just like looking at a year chart, 2-year chart, daily chart, except everything happens more quickly and the moves aren't going to be as large, but you still can make money off this pattern. with the right stocks, and also in the intraday day trading time frame. So anyway, that's I want to show you that. Now there's also another one, another really strong IPO that came out recently, and it's Acacia, and we've been following that in our newsletter for a while. You can see it's riding above the 9 EMA here on a 5-minute chart, and actually broke this resistance right here, which is an entry point too, but that's a different pattern. If I take this back a couple days or so, let's see here, take it back 5 days. This is a 5-day chart with a 5-minute, again, 5-minute time frame. You can see here that this double bottom pattern was much better. The reason why I like this so much is because the fundamentals are stronger with the stock. It's got real earnings. It's got stronger growth in earnings and sales. I believe they have stronger sales growth than Twilio, but they've got earnings, and you can see this downtrend here being broken, okay, leading into the double bottom pattern. Now, the double bottom pattern again is this W right here. It's a little stretched, but you can still see it where you get the highs here, comes down, goes back up yesterday, pulls back again this morning, and then the entry point again is above that center point in the pattern, and then from there it really took off 3-4%. So that was a good trade there, and that was earlier in the morning too. So it tends, the ones earlier in the morning are the ones that you want to get on a breakout. Okay, later in the day they tend to have smaller moves or don't work at all. But yeah, that's a double bottom pattern on an intraday chart, and again on the right stocks, these can work out really well. If you're looking for a place to buy a stock that's pulled back a lot during the day, I would wait until a higher low and then confirming the trend change with a higher high before jumping in. And that once you make that higher high, that moving above that will tend to act as support. Now in this case, you can see that after Acacia made a nice move and we got out of the stock, it pulled back, it went down to the breakout area and pulled back 1% or so below it before it started to rebound here. So that's sort of a weaker action from the stock. So we'll see how Acacia travels from here, but this may be a new uptrend that we can start trading again next week. So, okay, but I just want to show you the double bottom pattern on a different time frame and explain it more to you. And if you like this video, go ahead and like it down below. Sign up for our newsletter on our site. It's 3 weeks free with no credit card required as I record this. We also have a blog with some great trading setups and explanation of other patterns you can look for in your trading and other good information. So, all right, that's about it. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you again real soon.